You're listening to Podcast PXN, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo. Let's do this.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to Podcast PXN, episode 109 already. I am one of your hosts, local Portland sad boy Christian Macias, joined over Discord by Kentucky's #1 Spartan fan and evening grass cutter. I forgot to change that from last week. So there's a nod to, I guess, last week or 3 weeks ago. Daniel Prindle, a.k.a. Dan is DTM, and the Nintendo aficionado himself, Roro. Hello, guys. How are you doing today?
Doing great.
Halo, Christian. Halo.
I like that. I like that. Thank you to everyone watching us live and participating in the chat. Just as a reminder, we are live each and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. Just search Podcast PXN, as well as over on twitch.tv/Podcast PXN. The topic of the show this week is what a stacked month of games it is for February next year, and is February the new fall? But first, the show always begins with the PXN news of the week, so let's go ahead and jump right in. Doing something a bit different today, I decided to add a list of quick bites, some smaller news stories we can touch on. If we don't have any thoughts, we can at least get the news out and then move on. But figured it'd be nice to at least include those. So, Ro, give me a quick jingle for quick bites.
Okay, here we go. I don't want to copy Kind of Funny. I almost did. Here we go. Do-do-do-do-do. Bow, bow.
Quick bites. Alrighty. Our first quick bite is Sora is finally available to play in Smash as of Monday. I know Ro was playing as him, trying to unlock him. I don't know, right before the show started.
I unlocked him. I was playing classic mode as him, so I was facing off against Crazy Hand and Master Hand just now before the show started. Yeah.
Nice.
Sora.
I've seen videos on Twitter of him. He looks absolutely broken if you can do like some combos right. It's insane how people pick him up so fast.
It's crazy. Yeah, I'm never going to be on that level, but I'm definitely having a blast playing as him, and I'm so happy that he is the final character.
Yeah. Very cool. Thank you, Sakurai. Our next quick bite is arguably probably one that should be in the actual news roundup of the week, but I figure we usually talk about this enough every week that we might have could probably go through it a bit quicker. So I'll just say it now, right? Today, big news: God of War 2018 is officially coming to PC over on January 14th, 2022. Some very cool news. I still do not understand why people get mad that PlayStation games are coming to PC. I love the fact that more people can play games. That's just better altogether.
Definitely.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is good news all around for sure, for people who haven't played it and for people who have played it and just want to see it in all of its glory on PC. But yeah, definitely awesome.
Yeah,
I'm gonna throw it. Go ahead, Dan.
Sorry. I just think the crowd that's saying, like, why is this coming to PC is the same crowd that said, oh, Halo is coming to PC. Xbox, you don't get it exclusive anymore. It's so like, why? Who cares? Like, what? Who cares that more people get to play? Like, this is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to see just a random thought. I would love to see new games eventually into that kind of PC market, especially with how hard it is to even get your hands on PS5s right now. It'd be nice to have Returnal launch day and date with PS5, right? Or even if there is a DLC plan for the console version of PS5 to then and also by the way, but the same day that the DLC launches on PS5, it's now coming to PC as well, and now more folks are able to play games like this. So yeah. And our last quick bite, I was so happy to see this come across my newsfeed this week. The Kind of Funny community unites to create an animated short called Andy's Awakening. And if you haven't seen it, I would highly encourage you. Kind of Funny actually just tweeted it today on Twitter, so you can check it out there. And I think they reacted to it on one of their newest shows. And why am I including this, you ask? Well, none other than our co-host Ro participated in the creation of this video, and my God, it is fantastic. Ro, tell me a little bit about this.
Yeah, this is all because of KF or Kyle Fudin on Twitter. I have trouble pronouncing his last name, but Kyle on Twitter, awesome, kind of funny best friend as well. This is all his doing pretty much. He wanted to do this, and he he hit me up one day and he's like, hey, do you want to participate? And I was just like, sure. Like, what do you want me to do? It's like, what do you like doing? It's like, I like character designing. It's like, all right, I know you're a good artist, so you do the character designs. And that was what I did. And he obviously got some other people, other artists, other special effects people, music artists as well, just to do what they like doing and what they're good at doing, to just all come together and make a cool little animation to go along with Andy's funny dialogue in his stream. So it's all thanks to Kyle, but everybody involved, super talented, obviously. But yeah, it was really cool to be a part of.
When I saw this, I was going to. I was like, after I finished, I was I'm gonna send this to Ro. Like, this is like something he would really enjoy. And then I got to the credits, I was like, well, that's Ro's name. What? What? Dan, did you see this?
No, I didn't. I'm literally watching it while Ro was talking about it and you guys were talking about it. This is awesome. This is super cool. And I love that it's like in the vibe of Link's Awakening. That's super cool. Yeah. I'm just amazed. Great job, bro.
Yeah, all I did, there was Ollie was the guy who animated and made everything move. All I did was design the characters in the background. Andy was designed by Dark Stampede on Twitter. He's a great he's a comic book artist, and he's amazing as well. He usually draws like kind of funny art and Portillo a lot. So he designed Andy, so he wanted to do like a Gravity Falls sort of style. So I just designed background characters in the style of Gravity Falls. That was pretty much it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Amazes me how talented people are in this community. So
it's crazy.
Very cool to see. That is it for our quick bites. Hope you enjoyed those little munchy snacks of news. But
Delicious.
Now it's on to the main course. Delicious. So we're on to the main course, the meat and potatoes. Starting with one of the biggest stuff that I saw this week. I was like, wow, let's go Nintendo. I love you again. The Animal Crossing Direct just happened earlier. Well, gosh, late last week. I forget days now, but I got some recaps here for you. A free update, version 2.0 of Animal Crossing launches November 5th, just a few weeks away. Get your hands on stuff like The Roost, of course, some Cap'n Boat tours, updates to Harvest Island. We've got group stretches, which blew my mind. Cooking, new recipes, new fences, hairstyles, updates to the camera, first-person mode when you go in the camera, which, again, blew my mind. External storage on your island. Gyroids are coming back. Froggy Chair is back, and much, much more. I highly encourage you, if you are a big fan of Animal Crossing, to go check out the full video. I'm gonna include the next thing real quick here, and then we can talk a little bit about the whole direct as one big item. And then they also announced the paid DLC for Animal Crossing. It's called Happy Home Paradise. You get to work as a resort planner. You get to select islands for the villagers to holiday at, and then you get to design the actual internal home for them. So you can place and design furniture. You get to add accent walls, wallpaper, include hanging lighting, much, much more. And then you get to do the outside as well. So you get to quickly build fences, trees, paths, and of course, much more. This launches on the same day, November 5th. So it's a huge update for Animal Crossing. And the price of that DLC is only going to be $24.99 US. But it's also included in the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack. So if you go that route, which we'll talk about here in a second, you get the DLC included in that. Are we excited for this? Start with Ro.
Okay. Yes, very, very excited. As you guys know, I love Animal Crossing. I have like 600 hours in the game. This is easily going to probably boost that up to another 600 hours. I love that there's the free update is pretty chunky. Like the Roost we were expecting because they teased it, but as much as I'm excited for the Roost, everything that they showed after it was like, oh my god, that was the quote unquote the weakest part for me. Like everything that they showed after was just cherries and whipped cream on top that I just wasn't expecting. So I was super pleased with that. Bummed that it's the last free update, but them adding the DLC, where I think this is kind of unlikely that they're going to do more paid DLC, but it does give me hope that maybe they will, just because they didn't say it's the last thing that they're updating Animal Crossing with. But yeah, I love Happy Home Designer on the 3DS, so I'm very excited for Happy Home Paradise, and I love the new Animal Crossing villages as well, and the gyroids are coming back as well too, so that just adds a whole new collection aspect to the game as well. So yeah, definitely very excited for this, and I can't wait to jump back into Animal Crossing on November 5th.
How about you, Dan?
Yeah, I'm very excited for Row because I don't even own Animal Crossing, so it's just not my style of game. But I love that all of this new stuff Nintendo's continuing to support it. I am a little surprised that this is their last free update because, like, you know, there's a lot of buzz around New Horizons, and I feel like they're kind of leaving money on the table, so to speak, by, like, you know, not continuing to support it to continue to expand the player base, because obviously the Switch has a freaking ginormous install base now with how many Switches are out there. So I do think they're missing a little bit of an opportunity there, and like Rose said, maybe they'll have another paid DLC. That'd be a way to get people back interested, I guess, as well. Get some new content to get people excited to jump back in there. But yeah, cool stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point though, Dan, because outside of what, like Mario Kart and Smash, Nintendo doesn't really offer like continuous kind of updates to their games, like not in the way we're used to for like a lot of like online service based kind of games. Like maybe they'll drop one DLC and then they'll move on to the next project. So yeah, I guess this isn't too surprising that it's the last free update. But I mean, there's still stuff that I'm sure people would love to see more stuff, like some quality of life improvements come to that game. So it is surprising in that regard, but not surprising in that it's Nintendo. They just don't have quite a history with updating their games as much, right? I would love to see Dan play this game.
Me too.
My problem is that I don't have the patience. Like, it would just drive me insane because I don't have patience. It's the same reason why I don't like Dark Souls or like Soulsborne games, because I don't have patience. I just get frustrated when they're like, no, you have to step back and block and then attack and then block and then attack. But yeah,
I just want to go in. Want to go in guns blazing.
Yeah.
Or in Animal Crossing's case, I just want to, I don't know, have all the gyroids. I don't know what to equate it to. Yeah.
Are you kidding me with the gyroids that you can like customize them and like have them as like little like decorations in your home?
Incredible.
Oh my god.
Incredible.
Dude, this Animal Crossing though is the one that gave me the most anxiety though. Like I spent so many hours like designing my entire island the way I planned it. I had like printed out like a map with like squares so I can like and then it still didn't come out right, and I'm just frustrated at the end. So it's like whatever. It is what it is, I suppose. Hope everyone's happy here. Speaking of happy, some folks were not when they realized that the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack wasn't the price point that they quite had in mind. Those details were revealed in the same at the end of the Animal Crossing. Sirens are on our end.
Sorry.
Direct. And so individual memberships for the expansion pack were priced at $49.99 USD for 1 year, or if you're part of the family membership, that comes out to $79.99 USD for 1 year, which isn't that much, but we'll get into what's included and what sort of stuff would make the service better. It includes the N64 games that they've been showing off. There's quite a list of games, some big ones like Paper Mario, of course, coming out. Sega Genesis games, cool. And then, of course, you get the Animal Crossing Happy Home expansion included in that. Just surface level, I'll ask, how do we feel about that price point? Start with Dan first.
Yeah, I guess my biggest complaint is like, we're basically paying more for this service, whether whether there's one N64 game that you're interested in or the whole library of N64 games. And the other problem is like, these are just, essentially ports from the N64. So it's not, there's not going to be many enhancements, or if there is any enhancements, I'm not really sure on that, but it just doesn't seem like it's worth the extra money, because isn't the normal subscription $20? Am I wrong on that, or is it $30?
You're right. Yeah,
okay.
20 per year.
Okay, so $30 extra, and you're getting N64 games and some Sega games. It's just, I don't know. Yes, there's a lot of great games from the N64 catalog, but like, I would much rather see something like a Mario 64 like remake. And I know a lot of people are like just no, like thinking no right now. But I just think stuff like that's more interesting than just straight ports that you're charging people for. It's not exactly the same thing as like, you know, what Microsoft is doing with their backwards compatibility, because they're just offering you backwards compatibility and you choose what you want. Or if you already owned it previously, you can play it. So yeah, I don't know. For me, it seems like a half, you know, measure, but that's just me personally.
And they just sold the Smarter 64.
Yeah,
You know, turn around and sell it to us again for us to rent it.
They stopped selling it now, though. Remember, because
that's true.
Yeah.
At least on the eShop, you can still buy it physical if you could find it, I guess.
True.
Bro, how do you feel about the expansion pack?
I'm not too happy about how much it costs either. Yeah, I don't like that it costs $50 to essentially have the same service that we're paying $20 for now, just with some more games. And like Daniel said, maybe not all of those games are, or any of them, maybe you're not interested in them. So I guess then you just stay with the regular package. But I don't know. I feel, and on the other side of things, I feel if Nintendo just released Mario Kart 64, which has online capabilities now with the online bundle. I'm trying to, I think it's just called Nintendo Online. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something more creative. They just call it Nintendo Online. But anyways, I think they could release that on Nintendo eShop and charge $50, and people would still buy it. And now it's crazy, but I think people would buy Mario 64 with online anyway. So the fact that you're getting a bunch of other games and Sega Genesis games, I guess to them is like, hey, look what we're giving you instead of what we usually do, which is charge an insane amount of money for a game that you've already played 1,000 times. So I don't know. I'm definitely half and half about it, but I don't think I'm going to do it, at least not right now, for the games that are on there. I'm fine with Mario Kart 8. I don't need to play 64 online. And like you guys said, Mario 64 is already part of a great bundle. I don't like that it's limited time, but I do like that collection of games, and I already have it. The only game on there that I'm interested in is Paper Mario, and there's no way I'm paying $50 for just that right now. And yeah, I'm fine with paying the extra $25 for for Animal Crossing as well. So I don't need to get that bundle for just that at this time. But we'll see how it goes in the future. A lot of people are saying maybe it'll be worth it in the future, but it's not the future yet. So we're still kind of waiting. Oh, look at all these cartridges. Listeners, Kristen is showing off.
I have them all here, man. Yeah. They can't keep getting away with this.
They can't keep getting away with this.
And yet, here's the thing: I keep buying like for the example is that the Mario Party next, not the new Mario Party, but I guess it's like a collection of games from 1 through 4 or 1 through 3. I had a collection of games from each Mario Party. 2's the best, and I was so vehemently against buying stuff like this that were they don't seem to. It's not enough. It feels like a half measure kind of ports, and yet I end up paying the money anyway because those games are fantastic. So it's this line I continuously walk with Nintendo. It's I don't want to pay for this service, but go ahead.
No, keep going. I'll say what I have to say after. I just want you to know that I have something to say. Sorry.
Eventually, the convenience of playing these games on the Switch might be enough to sway me to at least try it out for a month or so. I don't know if I have to pay for the whole year, but then again, it's the service of Nintendo Switch Online just is not good. I'm playing Mario Golf, and if my controller disconnects for any reason, it kicks me out of the entire lobby. And it's just a bunch of small frustrations that, if the upgrade in price would then dictate that then Nintendo Switch Online gets bolstered up a bit and leads to a better service, I'd be happy to invest in that if it meant I'd get a better service. But I don't know if we're actually getting that, so. As of now, just a collection of games to essentially just kind of loan out to you for a while. Who knows if they, will take them away at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just not enough for me.
And probably not getting a better service for paying more either. So that's another thing. And if they did do that, that would cause another uproar as well for the people who are paying for the base model. And never mind. I don't have to say what I need to say. I was going to tell Daniel that your camera disappeared. Yeah. But it's back now. Never mind.
My live stream camera broke, so I had to use my Discord camera for some reason. Sorry.
All right.
I didn't even notice. I was so heated about NSO, I guess.
What are they doing over there, Nintendo? Can't keep
We'll
getting
see
it.
how Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack fares when it launches this November 5th. But until then, we got some new game trailers coming out from the DC Fandome. Did you guys watch these live at all, or did you catch these?
I did.
I haven't even said what they are yet, but did you watch this Fandome?
Yes.
I did not watch the
Okay.
Fandome, but I did watch a couple of the trailers that came out from it.
The Batman
Same.
trailer. Oof.
Yeah,
so
there we go.
good.
There we go. Thank you, Matt Reeves. But on the video game side, we had two games with some more trailers. The first is Rocksteady's Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. It got a story trailer, and I'll just say that when the announcement of that game came out and we had that first initial teaser, I wasn't sure if I was sold. The story trailer looks, in my opinion, absolutely incredible. It looks like a fantastic ride, and now I am very excited to try this game out when it comes out, supposedly eventually in 2022. Thoughts on Suicide Squad, gang?
I agree with you, Christian. I was in the same boat. Like, I saw that initial reveal trailer and I was like, man, okay, I want to see more because I'm not too crazy about it, but we'll see. It's Rocksteady. They're great. So yeah, the story part of this looks really, really good. I still want to see what the game's actually going to play like, and how that comes together. But yes, so far I'm hyped up as well. The end scene with the Penguin getting shocked with the collar, and they want her to blow his head off, and she's like, "Is it not working? Oh no, it's not working. Blow his head off." I was like, "Oh, so good, so good."
I also read that I guess Wonder Woman might not be. This was just details, add additional details they posted online. I guess Wonder Woman isn't the only one not affected by Brainiac, so it's gonna be cool to see them encounter Wonder Woman at some point. Very cool. What are your thoughts, Ro?
Yeah, I love that story trailer as well. Super excited. I love the Batman Arkham games, so I'm excited to see what the gameplay looks like eventually as well, because I love the combat in those. So hopefully it's something similar. Obviously with the twist with the different characters that you get at your disposal as well. So I'm definitely really excited to see gameplay when they show that off. But the story seems really cool. I'm excited to see what it's like to face off against all the Justice League characters. I think that's a really cool twist, being I guess we technically are the heroes in this case, but facing off against our favorite heroes. I think that'll be lots of fun to see the creative ways they do the boss battles. Because again, in the Batman games, the boss battles, I guess some of them they're about hit or miss sometimes, but for the most part, I love the boss battles in the Batman games.
Yeah.
So pretty excited to see what this looks like next year for sure. And I also found it very interesting that Agent, what's her name, Waller? I forget.
Yes.
Amanda Waller.
Yeah, Amanda Waller.
Yeah, is the same actress from Fallen Order, who played Junda, Siri Junda. But I think it's really cool that they're doing kind of what they do in movies. Obviously, you can't mask that in movies, but it's cool that they're using the same likeness, even though it's a different character. So it's more of an actor playing the character instead of... Yeah, I just thought that was cool that they're using the likeness a bit more. So that's cool. Yeah.
And I like the actress a lot as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm very excited. Speaking of DC games that we have seen gameplay of, we did get a story trailer for the next game here on WB's Batman side, which is a Gotham Knights story trailer. This game is also coming 2022, and this one I actually kind of believe. Suicide Squad, I don't know if it'll actually hit that date. Gotham Knights looks like it's ready to go. It's further along in progress than Suicide Squad. Did you guys catch the Gotham Knights trailer? And then what did you think?
Yes. I mean, the same vein, sort of, as the Suicide Squad trailer. I was like, all right, well, let's see what this is going to be. And I'm still very excited for this game now, too, because the Court of Owls is just a really interesting storyline. I've not read the comics, but I've heard all the stories from people who have read them and say that it's so good. So I really want to see how this plays out. And I feel like, of the two, Gotham Knights is the one I'm more excited about, because I already kind of have an idea of what the gameplay is going to be, because it's going to be very similar to the Arkham games, obviously, with you playing as the different Bat people. So yeah, I'm very, very excited for both of these games, but yeah, interested to see how the Court of Owls storyline plays out.
Interesting that you're more excited for this one, but before that, I want to ask Ro his thoughts.
Yeah, I like this trailer. I'm excited to play as Batgirl. She's one of my favorite characters in the Bat family, so definitely excited for that. Just because I really like her suit. If we get a Cassandra Cain game sometime in the future, I'll be all over that. But anyways, this one I'm kind of lukewarm on this one. I don't know. I really don't know why, because I do like the Court of Owls, but just after watching this trailer, I didn't get more hyped for it. I don't know why. Everything that they showed off seemed cool. I'm just when I watched the Suicide Squad trailer, I was like, oh man, I want to play this now. I want to see I want to see more of this. But after watching the Gotham Knight trailer, I was like, okay, cool. I kind of expected what they showed off, I guess. But it didn't really steer me in any particular way. I'm just okay, just kind of middling for me. But I know a lot of people love the Court of Owls stuff, and I'm excited to see what all the fuss is about when the game comes out, for sure.
Yeah. Bro, I'm falling more in your camp, and this is no knock against WB Montreal, because they do make good games, but when I'm thinking Court of Owls, I'm thinking like a deep, narrative-driven game, which, I mean, granted, the story trailer looks awesome, and they actually kind of convinced me to be more excited about it than what I was previously. But then I think about the gameplay, and it's just like, it's not quite MMO, but like your friends are jumping in with you, and like there's like a bunch of RPG elements involved, and when I'm punching guys, I'm getting numbers, and like that just doesn't scream like a game that I want out of a narrative-driven Batman game. And maybe this isn't as narrative-driven as I would like it to be. Either way, like, I still have faith that's going to be a cool game. Court of Owls rocks. I love the rumors that people think that this penguin might actually be Bruce just in hiding. Oh. That's really cool.
That would be awesome.
Should be a fun game to at least like unveil like what's actually going on. So it at the very least it will be fun. I don't doubt that, but that's where I'm at again. Yeah. Speaking though of games I'm excited about, Elden Ring unfortunately was pushed back to just by another month here. So we got an update from Elden Ring by the team over from Soft. They first announced that they were doing a closed network test that begins in November. There are 5 sessions available. If you register before November 1st, you have a chance to partake in that test. So that is some good news for people who want to get their hands on Elden Ring early. Unfortunately, the game was delayed until February 25th, 2022. And the Elden Ring did have an announcement here for us that I'm going to read out from the Elden Ring team. The game will release on February 25th, 2022, as the depth and strategic freedom of the game exceeded initial expectations. Thank you for your trust and patience. We look forward to seeing you experience the game in the closed network test in November. Very weird wording here, like for a game that's like supposedly like out of their scope and their range of what like exceeding expectations as to what they were creating. Having only a month pushback feels kind of weird. Like I don't know, like. Was it like that substantial of expectations that were exceeded, or what's going on there? But at the very least, it's only a month delay. I forget. Are any of you guys Souls fans?
Not I. It's I do. Every time we talk about Elden Ring, it's like that's the one that I want to try. I've tried Neo. I really like Neo, and what was the other one? The anime one, Code Vein. I tried that. Didn't beat it, but I thought it was pretty cool. But they're just, and similarly to Dan, they're kind of just super frustrating at times for me, and I just give up at a certain point. Neo, I really liked. I stuck with it. But for the other Dark Souls games, I played like so little of it. I just can't. Bloodborne is included in that too. I just couldn't get into it. I don't know why. I know how much people love those games, but I don't know. Everything that I'm hearing about Elden Ring, though, seems like something I might enjoy. It's that the combat might scare me away, but I definitely am willing to give it a try, and hopefully this will be the one that I stick with.
Don't let them trick you, bro. Don't let them trick you.
For I guess the 5th time, right? And maybe I should just give up, but I do want to give it a shot.
I mean, if you want to give it a shot, you can try out the network test, and
True.
Maybe if you get in, you can, no harm, no foul.
Exactly.
Good point.
Okay. Well, I'm sure in February, if the game launches, then I can give you guys impressions on that game. Since I don't think Dan will play. Don't think Souls games are for you, are they?
No, definitely not.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry.
I played Dark Souls. Okay, I bought Dark Souls twice. I got to the same part in the first world that you start at, and I'm like, nope, I'm done.
Like, oh yeah, this is why I didn't.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
You gotta push through. It's a game about perseverance, man.
Nah, I'm out on that.
That's fair. Moving on then, guys. Smaller story here. The PlayStation app is getting a beta in Canada and in, I believe, Japan. Yeah. So this was a message from PS Canada over on Twitter. A limited release beta enabling PS5 players in Canada and Japan lets them share their captured screenshots and game clips through the PS app, and it's starting to roll out as of October 18th, just a few days ago. Very cool to see this kind of feature coming out on mobile. This has been a feature people have been wanting for a long time. I know Switch makes it easy to have to share your stuff with your phone. Obviously, Xbox has that feature as well. So cool to see PlayStation finally catching up with the times and letting us share our screenshots to our phones. The 21st century, Sony.
Welcome to the future, guys.
Any thoughts here?
No, but just like you said, Xbox has been doing it. Nintendo has been doing it. I think Nintendo's way is really weird, where you have to scan a QR code and then connect to their internet, and then it's really weird. But for PlayStation, it's always just been uploaded to Twitter and then deleted immediately, so no one knows that you just are uploading your screenshots to just save them. So I'm definitely happy that they're finally doing this. I don't have a PS5 yet, so I can't really take advantage of this yet unless they are including PS4, which I don't think they are. But super cool. Excited to use this feature when it comes around, because I love taking screenshots. There's so many Miles Morales screenshots that I took that I just was uploading to Twitter and immediately deleting. So this is really cool.
And even for clips and stuff, it makes it way nicer to make a clip. I do this all the time on my Xbox. I'll make a clip on Xbox, and then it sends it right to my phone. You don't have to wait a long time to transfer and all this stuff. It's just a lot more convenient.
I love that.
Yes.
Cool stuff. Our next story comes from BR Football, of all places. I didn't see it reported anywhere else except for this one sports site that I follow. I was like, okay, very weird for them to put it in. Then later I saw it on other websites. FIFA is reportedly ending its 3-decade-long partnership with EA Sports. Following talks of renewing their partnership, FIFA believes, quote, "It is clear that this needs to be a space that is occupied by more than one party controlling rights," unquote. Let me tell you guys. At first I was like, you know what? FIFA just wants to sell their rights to as many people as they want. They just want to make that money. And while I still believe that's true, I also believe that competition breeds some of the greatest products. So I think in the long run, this can only be good for us consumers. What do we think?
So correct me if I'm wrong, Christian. Does this include players, or is this just for the FIFA name on the cover?
I believe it's just the name, but who knows?
Okay. Because the interesting part is EA has partnerships with all the clubs, I think is what they're called in soccer. Is that right? Or football? I don't want to offend any viewers out there saying soccer. But I think that's the biggest takeaway is FIFA just looking to get more games with the FIFA name. Is that going to make it more confusing? If PES, instead of being called PES, which I think they renamed recently, I can't remember what they...
Football Online or something like that. Football something.
Yeah. So are they going to have FIFA in their name now? Are we going to have 3 FIFA games? That's the only confusing part that I worry about, if that's the case. Or if they just have a logo on the front that says approved by FIFA or something, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, like you said, Christian, definitely more competition will definitely drive EA to make a better product. It'll drive Konami to make a better product, etc., etc. So,
or you would hope. You would hope it would. You never know with, especially Konami. You never know.
Yeah,
that's true.
But I'm similar boat as both of you guys.
They'll make a FIFA gambling machine.
I'd play it, dude. Knowing me, I'd play it. They got a Liverpool section, whatever. I'll gamble on them. Okay, no, but legit, like no meme. Before I move on, like I don't know if you guys knew this, but like I've seen it in IGN reviews, but the FIFA that they've been releasing on Switch every year has been the same version of FIFA that they released like 2 or 3 years ago. So they just keep releasing it, plastering the new name on it, and then just shipping it out with no changes. So like EA can't keep getting away with that. So hopefully, like having something like this is a step in the right direction.
It is that's so crazy. I can't believe they have gotten away with it.
Yeah,
like us who just like, oh, the new FIFA's on the Switch, and they purchase. I was like, wait a second, I have this already. It's like that's insane. That's crazy.
My favorite part about that is the people who did reviews on it, and they copied and pasted the same review from the previous year. That's just that's great.
Baller. Yeah. Moving on. Big story. We'll see if it's true. This comes from Video Games Chronicle. Ubisoft has greenlit a new Splinter Cell game, sources claim. Got some tidbits here for you. That's according to development sources who told us that the title has been put into production as a means of winning back fans frustrated by recent efforts to revive the franchise in the mobile and VR spaces. Dan is one of those fans. The article goes on, it is not clear which studios are working on the project, though 2 people with knowledge of Ubisoft's plans suggested the new Splinter Cell was being led by a studio outside its traditional Montreal base. Lastly, the title is in an early phase of production, the sources said, but there's a small chance it could be announced next year. Is it true, guys? Are we getting the return of a proper Splinter Cell game since Blacklist?
I don't even want to say the words because I don't want to curse it at this point. Like, I mean, I've been asking for this. Everyone has been asking for this since freaking Blacklist came out, really a few years after Blacklist, to be fair, because we're like, okay, where's Splinter Cell? Every freaking year, every single year. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they announce this next year, if this is indeed real, because they probably want to get out ahead of, all the leaks and everything, because people are very excited about a new Splinter Cell and want to see it. Obviously it'll probably be like a CG thing and splash screen and here's the title, but I don't care as long as it gets confirmed. Yeah. That's all I want. And I want freaking Michael Ironside back as Sam Fisher. Give me a little Michael Ironside voice underlaying that trailer. Beautiful.
Heck yeah.
I love it. Dan's excited. How about you, Ro?
This is a series that has escaped me as well. Well, not as well. It has escaped me. I haven't played any of them, actually. So I'm like Dan was excited for me for Animal Crossing. I'm excited for him for Splinter Cell. So I hope this is true. This is definitely something that they need to nail whenever it does. If it is true, if it comes around and it's what Dan's saying, it's not the voice actor. That's going to be one tick against them. There's so many things that they need to get right if this is a thing. It can't be a battle royale. It can't be like not a stealth game. It can't be an action open world thing. It has to be Splinter Cell. So the way that Ubisoft is right now, it kind of worries me. I hope that they are going to do what Splinter Cell was what made Splinter Cell so amazing to so many people, to so many fans like Dan, and they aren't going to like feed into the kind of the model that they've been churning out in the past years. So that's what worries me. But I am hopeful that, especially with them coming out and saying that they're working, not coming out and saying it, but this news coming out hopefully means that they are putting some care into it and giving it the time it deserves, because it's been a while. It's been a very long time.
Don't do that to us, Ubisoft. Don't put Sam Fisher in another random stupid game that we don't want.
Okay, you have to think like they've gotten the clue at this point. One would at least hope, right?
I hope so. Yeah.
Because that's kind of my take as well, in that like they do follow trends to an extent, but like kind of the wrong trends. Like they're just kind of taking elements from other games that are popular and inserting it into,
their franchise
rip-off simulator. I don't know. I'm X-Define. You know what I'm getting at, but. Yeah. Like there is a kind of a trend right now of all these old franchises like resurfacing in some kind of new and interesting way, and like those games typically do pretty well. A lot of us here are rightfully so excited for like the Dead Space remake, because that game's going to be great, and it's treated with, it's a property that's highly regarded and treated with care. to make like another interesting take on it, right? So if Ubisoft can come around and take that same approach and apply it to Splinter Cell, whether it's a sequel or a reboot or anything for that matter, and treat it with care and come up with something that players are excited to play, like that would go a long way for what this article was saying about winning back fans who have been frustrated with literally like any of the recent efforts to make any of their games. So I am very excited to see if Splinter Cell's comeback is indeed true, because those games do indeed rock. But moving on, another EA another EA story here for you. Gave the story away. EA opens up a new studio in Seattle. I actually saw the news coming from Dan, who was quote tweeting or replying to this on Twitter before I actually even saw the story. The new studio is headlined by Marcus Letho. Is it Letho, Dan?
Leto.
Leto.
Yes, sir.
Formerly of Bungie and the co-creator of Halo. The studio will focus on FPS games. I'm going to pass the mic over to Dan to tell us about whether or not we should be excited for this.
I mean, of course we should be excited. Obviously, obviously this is literally he's just starting the studio, and it's awesome that someone's giving him, I guess, the faith, so to speak, to kind of invest this money in a brand new studio after obviously his former studio V1 Interactive kind of went by the wayside after their game didn't do that well. But I think it's interesting that they're going back and specifically saying first-person games. Obviously, that's what Marcus's specialty is in. And while I think what they did with their previous game was interesting, kind of combining some genres and mixing and mashing things with Disintegration, I don't feel like it necessarily was that fun. And at the end of the day, your game has to be fun. So obviously a first person game, it's pretty easy. I say easy, but you know what I mean. A first person game is literally probably the most common game that's out there right now. And obviously that's going to be his wheelhouse, his bread and butter, and put together a great team and make something original that people will be excited about. And obviously he can create characters because he's the father of Master Chief. I freaking love Master Chief, as you can see right here.
Master Chief has a dad? Bro,
yeah.
Are you excited? I don't think you're a big FPS guy, but are you at all interested in this news about Marcus opening up a new studio?
Yeah, I'm not a huge FPS guy. Destiny is quite literally the only one that I love. So it does take a lot for me to get into FPS games. But I am interested because as when Dan talks about something that he's interested or loves, it's contagious a little bit. So I am interested to see what this guy does churn out. But again, it being FPS doesn't like strike me with excitement. But I am excited for him, happy for him, because he we talked about before, he started his own studio before. It didn't go super well, but I'm glad that he's getting a second chance because, as we said before, he did take care of his employees, so that's good in my books. So I'm excited to see what happens next with him over at EA. Yeah, hopefully they shoot him well.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. Yeah. I mean, the shooter space is kind of, I think, a little bit saturated right now. Like, it's hard to kind of stand out on that front, but when you have someone who, like, and as the father of like one of the greatest FPS games ever made, like I have no doubt that he's gonna have like capital I identity in whatever game he eventually ends up creating. And I love EA, like not originals, or originals like to name of their indie games, but like new IP from EA is always exciting for me. Like I'm a big Mirror's Edge fan, so like if Marcus puts together a cool team, like I am more than happy to check out whatever FPS game they are going to make there. I'm sure it'll be great.
Yes,
I'm sure it'll be great. Speaking of Destiny, though, I heard Ro mention that as he was talking. Oh, indeed. If you have kept up with the Witch Queen news that came out this week, Destiny dungeons have been gated behind a paywall. The only way to access the new dungeons that come with Destiny 2 The Witch Queen expansion is if you purchase the deluxe edition of the expansion. The other way to access that upgrade is to either upgrade the standard edition or to purchase them separately, probably in the in-game store or some other manner. But I want to pass it over to Ro. I don't know if you're a big dungeons player. I enjoy the dungeons, but to have them gated behind a paywall when you're buying the whole expansion seems kind of weird. What do you think here?
Yeah, it is. It is very weird. I don't like it either. I don't know, man. It just sucks that every time that, at least recently, that Destiny has been in the news, it's for something negative because they do some really awesome stuff in game, really awesome stuff. So it sucks that every time that they're at the top page of Reddit in this case, it's because they're doing a weird paywall thing with their content that they didn't do before and they're doing now, and it's just super confusing with how they're gating certain content, like and another conversation is that they're taking away content, they're vaulting content for players who paid for that stuff, and now it's just gone. You just can't play it anymore because they need more space. So I understand the reasoning behind it, but at the same time, it's a little scummy at the same time, and just not something that sits well with a lot of players. And again, the people who are on the outside saying like this is a dead game, no one plays this, they see this and then just like feeds the fire a bit more because like why would anybody play this if they're literally taking away the game from you? So yeah, that side definitely rubs me the wrong way. If you're a player like me and you're going to buy the deluxe edition anyway, there's nothing you need to worry about. Everything's going to be included in that. But if you're just you're coming back or you don't want to pay the extra money for a deluxe edition, it's weird, it's confusing, and at this point in Destiny, it's super hard for me to recommend the game to someone who's returning or new, and two, if someone is coming back to the game, I have no idea where to say to start because there's just so much that's gone and there's so much that has happened. It's super confusing for new players right now, and this vaulting and paywalls just makes it even more confusing for players. So yeah, I hope I don't see them fixing it because they already did it. It would be kind of weird if they did fix it for the people who have already paid for it as well. So this is just one that they're going to have to unfortunately sit with, and the players are unfortunately going to have to sit with. But hopefully in the future they make better decisions, because I don't think that this company is in danger, that they have to be making weird payment options like this. They're independent studio. They have 2 expansions on the way. I think they're good money-wise, and Eververse, their online store, is crazy, and I think they're doing fine with the money thing. So it kind of makes me scratch my head as to why they do this in the first place.
I lost my train of thought here. I was gonna no, it's fine. No, like you made some great points. Dan, go ahead.
Yeah, like you're saying, Ro, like vaulting content is very complicated because it's like you said, if you have a new player that comes in, like where are they supposed to begin? Like they miss all that content and all that story and all that, dialogue, everything that happens that they, pull out of the game a year later or whatnot. They miss all of that. So it does make it a little bit complex when you have a living, breathing game, so to speak, to kind of handle that. I guess my one antithesis to this is, I feel like Bungie's been doing this for a while with like they just have weird pricing things that they do, like, and that's not like a defense of them or anything, but like I feel like it has been happening a while, and I can't necessarily fault them, so to speak, because it's essentially an MMO and there's no subscription for it. So like typically all of your big MMOs have a subscription model where you pay a subscription in order to play it. So like I guess this is sort of their way to avoid getting into like the subscription model.
And I think they should. I think they absolutely should get in the subscription model. I think they should be the free-to-play version, and they should be a subscription base where you just get this stuff. I think it would just be so much easier, and I think they would make a better game as well. We're probably almost I guess we're not almost at the end of Destiny, but there's probably at least 2 more years because it's a 10-year plan.
In the old game, right? Yeah.
It'd probably be cleaner too, because like you have like seasons, you have to buy DLC, expansions, like totally.
Yeah.
The case in point here is that Final Fantasy 14, on the other hand, like has that free to play model, right? Or at least you have that base, so you can play up to a certain level, and past that, you have to be part of the subscription model. But once you do, you have access to like tons of like critically acclaimed content. So I don't see why Destiny why they wouldn't be able to do something similar. I don't normally read a bunch of comments on Twitter or like on YouTube and stuff. But I was going through the comments on this story just because I'm always curious what fans are saying about Destiny, because I consider myself a lapsed Destiny fan. I just haven't been into 2 as much as I was throughout all of 1. 1 absolutely rocked my world. But
Amazing.
like rightfully so, like the comments were like justified, and that people were saying like, why should I pay for this if it's just gonna get vaulted a year later? Like
Yeah.
that just seems like too egregious. And like people were saying, like they were pointing out to, like, I thought Activision was the one being greedy, but now like they're just having similar kind of
That sucks.
scummy schemes here. Like it sucks.
There is one other thing in regards to that too, and that's the file size. Like if you don't cut content, eventually your file size is just going to be ridiculously huge. Like Call of Duty Warzone, for instance, that's like almost 200 gigs. It's like at a certain point, it just gets absurd because you have a Xbox Series S or something, and half your hard drive is filled with Call of Duty Warzone. Like,
yeah. Again, I totally understand why they are doing it. It's just not awesome. It's just not a great feeling to know that the thing that I not just bought, but the thing that I previously bought maybe a year ago is just gonna disappear. And it's just gone now. Yeah, so I definitely understand the reasoning. It's just I wish it was a better way to fix it.
I'm gonna give one quick shout out before we move on to the penultimate conquest in chat right now. I think it's Ruben who's on that account right now. He's been chatting about Destiny. Feel bad for you, Ruben. You just started playing Destiny again for like the very first time in a long time, and now this comes out. So sorry, buddy.
Oh man.
It's rough out here. €80. Our last story of the week. This is included by Dan today before we went live, and this dropped today as well, I think. The Xbox 20th anniversary stream will be held live on November 15th. And the quote came with this: "While we won't announce any new games, this anniversary broadcast will be a special look back at 20 years of Xbox," which I think most likely we'll just appreciate old Xbox titles. We're going to celebrate some anniversaries, but we might also see maybe some new backwards compatible games showing up in this. Probably no new stuff, of course. I want to pass the mic over to Dan.
Yeah, I think obviously it says we won't announce any new games, but I feel like they're definitely going to update their games that are coming, and already known games, at least to a little bit. I feel like if we don't have Halo Infinite campaign gameplay by November 15th, it's definitely going to be there. Like, that's going to be the event that they're going to show the Halo Infinite campaign gameplay, because it's been a long time since we've seen gameplay, and people have been asking for it, and they have been talking about are getting closer to the point of capturing campaign gameplay. So if we don't have it by that point, I think that's going to be the event where we're going to see it. And it'll be interesting to see how much they announce there.
I want to add as well that there was supposedly a rumor going around on Twitter that there is an incoming trailer for the Halo campaign. And I just didn't know like where the space would be to kind of showcase, to have a bunch of eyes on this kind of trailer, other than just like just dropping it, right? On just like their own like kind of live or on the Xbox Wire. But having an event like this, like maybe this could be the place, like Dan was saying. Why not? Will you be watching?
Probably not. No. But I definitely will. I know I'm terrible. I probably will watch that Halo trailer though when if they do announce it. But yeah, this is definitely something that I think I will watch from the sidelines or after it's over. I just, as you know, not a huge Xbox guy, but I do love that they're doing this. I think this is super cool that they're taking the time to celebrate the anniversary and just be with fans to, reminisce, to celebrate it. I think that's really cool. Just not an area of the gaming sphere that speaks to me personally, but I think it's really cool, and I think that more companies should do it. So maybe I will tune into a Nintendo event or a PlayStation or whatever, So I think this is cool.
Looking at you, Nintendo, who did absolutely like nothing for Zelda's 35th anniversary.
Never.
I know, dude. Yeah. Look out for that on November 15th, just a few weeks away. But now, before we get into the topic of the show, we usually do a segment, RIP to games we've been playing. Of course, we've got the new segment, What You Got For Me? I want to start with the top down. Dan, what you got for us?
I got Master Chief Collection Season 8. No surprise, guys. I have fallen back into the Master Chief Collection grind to get all of the Season 8 content because Halo Infinite's coming in December. I gotta have all of this content for MCC before Halo Infinite comes out. Gotta get prepped. So, yeah. Having some fun with the new multiplayer map with Halo 3, which is a remake of a Halo 2 map called Turf. And it is an incredible map, and I love it even more on Halo 3. It's so good. I love it so much. Can't wait. Can't wait to continue to see how Master Chief Collection continues to evolve and take off and not get its credit at the Game Awards for Best Ongoing Game. Roro, remember?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's terrible.
So are they going to... what's going to happen in the game when Infinite comes out, Dan?
What's going to happen to Master Chief Collection?
Yeah, are they going to continue to support that?
Yes,
game?
So they've already confirmed it. It will continue to get support in 2022. This is the last content update of the year because they want the focus to be on Infinite this fall, and they did announce that there will be more updates and content coming next year. So yeah, for sure.
Cool. Love to see it. Ro, how about you? What you got for us?
I have been playing some more Metroid Dread. I saw that you beat it, Christian, so congratulations. I have not beat it. I'm stuck. I'm scared. I'm lost. I don't know where I'm supposed to be going right now. I'm near the end because I unlock the part of the map that Samus's ship is located. So I think I'm near the end. I beat a boss that had tentacles recently. So I'm just trying to be very vague as possible.
I know where you're at, yeah.
Yeah, and and I did some other stuff since then. But yeah, right now I'm just lost. I don't know where to go. I refuse to use a guide because I've gotten this far without one. So I'm just going to keep trying to figure it out. But that game is fantastic. Loving it so far. Hopefully by next week I will have beaten it. I'm also playing as Sora in Smash. I got the DLC characters, the final DLC character Sora, our boy, and he's super fun. He's lots of fun to play. In the competitive scene, apparently he seems to be a little bit broken. I wouldn't know because I don't play competitively. I just play for fun online from time to time. But I was playing the classic mode, and they do a really fun thing where they do this for all characters, most characters, where the battles are kind of shaped in a way where it seems like you're playing their game, where if you're playing as Mario, the people that you face off against will be kind of similar to the games that he's in. And for Sora, it's no different. So you would face off against a bunch of Game & Watch CPUs, and they would be like heartless, pretty much. Or you face off against a bunch of white Corins. They'll be like the nobodies from Kingdom Hearts 2. So I thought that was really cool, keeping the attention to detail that they've always been doing with the Smash characters. And yeah, Sora was no different. Loving playing as him. Hopefully I'll get better as him. Maybe he'll be my new main in Smash, who knows. But yeah, having a great time with both of those games right now. No Destiny this week. I wonder why.
He's mad. Glad you're enjoying Sword. Yeah, glad you're enjoying Sword Boy. My advice for you on Dread before we move on is that once you get an ability or you beat a boss, the next the path funnels you in a way to progress to the next kind of area. Usually pretty close to where you had just ended. So I would say kind of look around those areas where you
So essentially take another 10-minute tour all the way back to where I was, because I'm on a completely different side of the map now. I've just been taking this time to just get some items now, because I'm like, okay, I'm lost. So I'm just gonna go here now. But yeah. But thank you for the advice. I will head back there.
That is a pro move that like collect as much as you want until you beat that final boss. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts, hopefully next week, on the final boss. That boss rocked my world in like the best ways and some of the worst ways. But
nice.
I have a question for both of you. So when you're playing, I'm assuming there's a map.
There is.
Okay. Does the map show you like dark areas that you can explore, and like as you go, it opens up? Is that how it works?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
I
was pretty correct.
Technically, yes and no. But Ro, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I like the map in this game. I know Metroidvanias can be hit or miss with the maps, so I've heard. But yeah, I like this map. Pretty cool to follow. Easy to follow, I should say.
Yeah. It does the game thing where if you enter a new area, it only will show you the map from like rooms that you're currently in and that you've been in before. And then once you find like the map room, you can see like how big the actual like area is, even though you don't know the actual layout of the room. So
I like
that's
that.
how that game works.
I like that. Okay, cool. Yes, I need to jump into this.
So
It's a good game. Very good game. I got some stuff for you. I just beat Metal Gear Solid 1 on stream the other day, 2 days ago, which was a lot of fun to get to do that with chat. I'd never beaten Metal Gear Solid 1 before, so it was cool to finally get to see it from start to finish with the PlayStation. And now I'm campaigning to get to see what game we'll play on stream next, which right now is I put up a poll on Twitter, and it's right now the ongoing fighting is between Metal Gear Solid 2 and Bayonetta, so we'll see what wins out. That's all I've been playing. Keep an eye out on the Penultimate Conquest YouTube channel. Tomorrow, my new video essay drops on the sound that defined the PlayStation generation. I'll leave it at that.
Exciting.
Very, yeah. I think I'm like most excited about. Like, this is the project that I was actually like legit like am proud of the actual result of. The last video essay was a stepping stone to get to this one.
Now, Christian, I'm waiting for one more teaser on your Twitter profile that I can super zoom into so I can look at the clip names and see what else is in there.
I can't believe you zoomed into the clip names, you madman.
I did.
It's insane. Yeah, Ape Escape may or may not make an appearance.
Yeah, I saw that.
But now it's time for topic of the show. Of course, February is the new fall? ? We'll see. I have 3 questions here that I laid out for us, just to keep in mind as I read out the list of games that are coming out next year. So I'll read these for us. What do you think of this packed February slate? Just a top level question, just to get us thinking about it. 2, will any of these games be delayed? Why? Right? And 3, will any studios be too stubborn to move with this slate of games? So let me read you the schedule here, and then we can talk about it. February 1st, we have a collection finally coming out, Life is Strange Remastered Collection, which was delayed not too long ago, right, into February. That kicks off the month. A few days later, 3 days later, February 4th, Dying Light 2 comes out, the first big game of February, I'd say. For those fans of Dynasty Warriors, the next week, February 15th, Dynasty Warriors 9 comes out. 3 days later, a PlayStation Studios game, Horizon Forbidden West, on the 18th. And then on the next week, just a few short days after that, the 22nd, 2 big games. Destiny 2 gets its Witch Queen DLC. So if you're not heated about the gatekeeping, or you bought the digital deluxe edition, you might be interested in playing that. Or if you're more of an indie boy and you want to check out Sifu, those come out on the same day. And lastly, 3 days later after that, February 25th, 2 big games again. Elden Ring, long-awaited Souls game, and of course the remake. I think reboot is what they're calling it. Of Saints Row releases on that day. A lot of games this month. So with those in mind, I want to start. Do we think any game is going to get delayed or pushed back again? Like, what is going to move? Is anything going to move?
Yeah, I definitely think there will be at least one moves, but in my head, I'm thinking of 2 things. So one, Sifu. It's an indie title. I feel like that's the most prone to possibly being pushed, just because they want to, get a little bit, carve out their own space. They don't want to be, in the middle of this madness. And 2, I think there's no way in hell that Saints Row doesn't get delayed, because I don't think that game has necessarily been shown that well or that much. And I feel like they would be the biggest one to suffer, even over Sifu. Even though Sifu is an independent game, I feel like Saints Row would be the biggest loser of sticking to the release date, because not because it's the same game as Elden Ring that comes out the same day or anything like that, but you have all of these games in the month of February. There's people that can only buy so many games. Right. I don't see how Saints Row would succeed in this time period, but I don't know.
That is so interesting because when I saw this list, I didn't think Saints Row would be the one to push. I think that one, even though we haven't seen much of it, seems like it's the most ready to go from what like we've heard from behind closed doors. I think if anything, Elden Ring would like probably end up being the one that needs more polish, and we'll see how the network test goes, I guess. So, we'll have more insight in just the next few weeks. But if as of right now, I think Elden Ring might just need a few extra weeks of polish. So maybe that one is the one that ends up escaping February.
Mm.
Ro,
Yeah,
what are you thinking here?
No, I think I agree with you, Christian. But the one that I was thinking of was Dying Light 2. Even though they've seen so many delays already, that it'd be crazy that they delay it even more.
Yeah.
But it is similar to Elden Ring, where their idea is so ambitious and they want to do so much with this game. Where maybe they don't want to have all this competition with. They've worked so hard on this. They want to have their own space, or similarly to what you were saying with Elden Ring, maybe they need a little bit more time to polish it even more. So Dying Light 2 is one of the games that I think might get delayed again, sadly, even though it's been delayed for so many times.
Yeah.
There's another game, King of Fighters 15, which is a fighting game that a lot of people are into. That's coming out on the same, or the day before Dynasty Warriors, February 14th. So that's another game to insert in there as well. But yeah, and Sifu, I agree with Daniel, where that's a game that probably doesn't want to be surrounded by all these bigger, quote unquote, bigger games as well.
Yeah. I went to look at March to see what's going down over there, and like it seems to be like if one's gonna move, and if we're, I'm thinking Sifu right now. Like if Sifu wanted a little bit of space to breathe, like March could maybe be the space for it. The first week of March, March 4th, we have Gran Turismo launching. I don't know if Pathfinders is a big game. Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, that comes out on the 1st. I don't know if that's huge. But then the following week, or I guess the 4th. Sorry, I'm jumping around here. Triangle Strategy is coming out on the 4th. And then you have a 2-week period where there's just no games until the 18th, where Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy then comes out. So there is space for Sifu to play on if they want to push it just 2 weeks back, right? Like that could be a possible space for it. Otherwise, I don't think Horizon's moving. I think that one's ready to go. I think Sony's probably too stubborn to move it anywhere else. I think they kind of planted themselves as like, nope, this is our date. We're confident enough in our product, and you're gonna buy it because it's a first-party studio, and we probably will. So I don't see that one moving. Yeah. And I think Ro might be right. Dying Light 2 might need an extra few weeks or so of polish to get right, especially if they want to have that launch on Switch as well. I don't know how complicated having it be cloud-based on the Switch. So
yeah. Sorry, and then again, Dying Light is kind of the one who started all of this in the first place. Like they're the ones who kind of invented this beginning of the year area, especially with their first game. It's like, all right, no one's doing this. Like let's put out the game, Dying Light. People will love it. There's nothing else to play right now. People will love it, and we did. Everybody bought that game because there was nothing else to play, and now here they are, surrounded by all these huge games. So it's interesting to see how that turned around. Not on them, but how they kind of started maybe a new trend for beginning of the year, being the new fall, as you say.
Yeah,
I mean it's the COVID delays, right?
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
No, you're good. Yeah, you're totally right. And like Christian, you said Horizon's not going to move. I don't think Destiny 2 Witch Queen's going to move either, because I think Bungie employees on Twitter were saying we're not moving or something to that effect. So it's going to be interesting to see like who bluffs and who doesn't, and what happens.
I feel so bad for Life is Strange Remastered Collection. Like if people I think it was Dan who made a great point. Not everyone can afford to buy every single game, and like if you're looking at the games that are releasing in February, there's a lot of games that you might pick over replaying Life is Strange again. So
exactly.
Feel bad for them. I don't know what your most excited title is of February, if you have any.
Horizon. I mean,
wow.
Yeah, I mean the first one was a ton of fun, and I loved that world and the dinos. I love dinosaurs in general, especially the robotic ones. They're cool too. I'd still love to see a Jurassic Park, first person game. Like I freaked out when they announced Jurassic World Evolution, and I was like, oh, this is the park sim again. But no, yeah, Horizon Forbidden West, I'm super excited to play that. It's going to be great. And I hope Dying Light 2 is great as well, because I know that team at Techland really works hard, and they made a really great game with Dying Light, the original. So hopefully that pans out.
Yeah. How about you, Ro?
Okay, yeah, I was talking my ish earlier on Destiny, but it's absolutely Witch Queen is definitely my most hyped for February. I know when that date comes around, I'm going to be having trouble sleeping the night before. I'm going to be super pumped to jump into the DLC. So Witch Queen definitely is my top. Horizon Forbidden West is definitely very close behind, though, because that game looks incredible. Yeah. But Witch Queen is definitely my hype. Most excited one for February. What about you, Christian?
Oh, thank you for asking. I want to give a shout out to Horizon. I love the first one. I've got some issues with it, but like it's still a fantastic game, like Dan and Ro, how you both said. So excited for that one. Sifu is one of my most anticipated. I loved like the complexity and how great, like how crunchy Absolver felt. So this Sifu just looks like a totally like step up, like in all, like at the aesthetics, the fighting, it looks fantastic. I love the premise of it, but I gotta give it to Elden Ring. That like I just love Souls games. They're so fun, especially after beating Sekiro and being deemed the Monkey King from, like Dan put it, from earlier in PXN lore. Yeah, Elden Ring's gotta be the one. Like that game's gonna rock. So yeah, we will see if any of these games move. But until then, thank you again to everyone joining us live on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, as well as podcast services everywhere, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, and Stitcher. Thank you, Ro. Thank you, me. Thank you, Dan. This has been Podcast PXN, and we are out.
Much love and keep on gaming.
Yeah.